Hi, my name is Rachel DeGhetto, and I'll be doing a presentation about the harmful effects of cell phones within the classroom. Have you ever recently been on a walk around your local city, at a park, a store, or anywhere in general, and noticed that every teenager is on their phone? Gone to a restaurant and seen the teenager next to you staring right at it? Well, it might make sense that this would be common when going about your everyday life, but did you know that this type of situation is happening in our classrooms today? In my speech, I would like to demonstrate to you the reasons why cell phones should be banned in today's classrooms, speaking from somebody with experience, having just recently graduated high school within the last year. In a study analysis done by Common Sense Media of over 200 students, it was reported that over 97% of 11 to 17-year-olds used their cell phones during the school day. This is an example of the foundations of where the problem I will be telling you about are derived from. To begin, the usage of cell phones within classrooms has been having negative effects on teenagers' ability to socialize with each other face-to-face, retain information long-term, and is preventing students from being able to fully focus in classrooms. I will firstly begin with the fact that phones should be banned within the classroom setting because they stunt students' ability to socialize among their peers. A study conducted by UCLA in 2014 found that excessive screens have negative effects on a child's ability to understand emotions. They found that children deprived of all digital media performed significantly better at interpreting emotion than those allowed to access social media. More specifically, the findings suggest that face-to-face interactions are crucial for children to learn non-verbal emotional cues. If phones continue to be used within classrooms, students will have a significantly more difficult time in gaining face-to-face interactions that, as claimed by this study, significantly attribute towards the socialization skills people need. Because of this problem that students are facing regarding their decreased ability to recognize facial cues, teachers are claiming that some can barely initiate or sustain a conversation with a same-aged peer. They simply don't have practice. Continuing, Thomas B. Fordman Institute in 2023 outlines this predicament. Cell phones are becoming a problem for students because it is becoming increasingly difficult to make these face-to-face interactions and therefore create meaningful connections. So we just discussed the issues regarding phones and their potential to stunt a student's ability to be able to properly socialize with others. And now we will talk about the usage of them within classrooms and how it's causing a lack of long-term retention for students. To formally state, phones are causing a big distraction in classrooms and leading to the point where it is causing students an inability to retain information long-term. In a study done at University of California in San Diego in 2016, it was concluded after a study done on students found that the brain system that is involved in interpreting or stopping movement in our bodies also interprets cognition. Cognition meaning the process of acquiring knowledge which correlates to the act of balancing, paying attention to the teachers and your phone, in which the result is that fewer items regarding those two tasks will be able to be recalled or retained. Continuously, within the article, Do Smartphones Belong in Classrooms? 4 scholars weigh in from 2023, a professor claims that divided attention reduces long-term retention of the classroom lecture, which hurts performance on unit exams and final exams. Within both of these studies and observations from professionals, it is concluded by both that cell phones within the classroom have contributed towards a significant decrease in students' ability to understand and comprehend lecture material long term. Phones make it so that students have their minds focused on between two priorities, and by doing this, not allowing their brains to hold onto the information being given to them. So we talked about how phones prevent students from being able to retain information long term. Now we will transition to the final point that phones should be banned within classrooms because they overall prevent students from being able to focus in a classroom setting. Cell phone usage should be banned within these classrooms to improve student learning because they prevent students from being able to fully focus within these classrooms. According to Stockton University Center for Learning Design in 2019, push notifications and alerts from apps create a distraction for students who are using mobile devices for learning purposes. This requires selective attention to keep focus on the learning content rather than the notifications. require self-regulations to avoid temptation of using mobile devices for entertainment. By allowing phones to be within classrooms, students are being divided between what they're supposed to be doing in class and what could potentially be on their phones. The consequences of allowing phones within classrooms even extends to college students. Within an article posted by Harvard University in 2017, they cite that within several studies they compared students who texted during a lecture versus those who did not. Those who typically texted took lower quality notes, retained less information, and did worse on tests about the material. If college-age students are having difficulty being able to balance between paying attention within classrooms and their phones, and are significantly struggling because of it, adolescents must be having a much more difficult time. It is widely known that the older you are, the more developed your brain is, and if developed adults are having trouble maintaining the balance of using their phones, then teenagers should not have to decide between the one or the other. So, to review, phones are becoming an increasingly problematic thing within classrooms across America. They are not allowing for students to be able to get the most out of their education and causing long-term problems. These problems, the usage of cell phones within classrooms, has been causing students decreased ability to be able to socialize with each other face-to-face. Cell phones in classrooms may also be preventing students from being able to focus in a classroom setting due to distraction, and cell phones within classrooms are also preventing students from being able to focus with each other. We are in a position where we can come together and raise awareness about the long-lasting consequences of phones being allowed in classrooms, and we as a society should remain cautious about this epidemic and continue to make sure that it does not happen.